few weeks ago, a group of us adjourned to a resort on the Mornington Peninsula. This is part of our annual sort of strategy getaway where a select group of us, we get together, we talk about business, we talk about strategy, and we try and workshop problems that people might be having with their business. An integral part of the crew who join us on these annual events is Jason Cunningham, the founder and principal of the accounting and wealth management firm The Practice. During a break in one of the sessions, I took Jason aside and I had a short chat with him about what he had seen the Mentor program produce and what his impressions of the Mentor program were. Along with that, we had a chat about trading as a business as opposed to a hobby. One of the unfortunate things about trading is that people tend to treat it as a hobby. If you treat something as a hobby, then you get the results that a hobby will generate. And this short video is that little chat I had with Jason.
When we were out yesterday for our little walk, as we tend to do on these things, the topic turned to money as it always does. Mm-hmm. Now you've had experience as an external observer of the Mentor program and its results, and you were chatting about the things you'd seen.
Yeah. Well, look, as you know, Chris, you and I have known each other since the halcyon days back in
Good old days.
1999, where we were getting, I was getting tips off cab drivers and buying DavNet, VoiceNet, this net, not making any money net, garbage net, those days. But, I was, as you're aware, I was involved in, right in the early days when you set up the trading game and your views about education. And then, I've probably seen a couple of hundred mentorees come through. But I think the most interesting thing for mine was when you engaged me to do an audit. And we did an audit, our firm, The Practice, we did an audit from 2003 through to 2011. And I think we reviewed about 350. I think about 350 trading plans. And we took a sample size of about 45 or 50. And what we found over that 8-year period, so 2003 to 2011, which included the GFC, what we found is that if you followed the rules, now, not just one of the rules, or not just 80%, or not just 90% of the rules, if you followed 100% of the rules, you made money. But not only did you make money, you outperformed the market. So much so that Aaron, my senior client manager, Aaron and I started talking and said, hang on a minute. Aaron started to negotiate with me to see if we could get a bit of time off work. We combined our super funds and trade the system. So yeah, absolutely. But I guess the key to it is there are rules in place. The trend is your friend for one. Position size for another, and the other rules that you've got. And if you follow every single rule, you're a winner.
But that touches on something else we spoke about, and that's the notion of treating it like a business. One of the discussions we've had over the past nearly 2 decades is that people don't treat trading like a business. They treat it like a hobby. And so it's something on the side.
And I don't know how you can do that. You're talking about your livelihood, your future, and your money. Now, as you know, the tax office view traders with two separate, different sets of eyes, either as an investor or a trader. Now, to be considered a trader in the eyes of the tax office, one of the rules that they put you through is to determine whether you behave in a business-like manner. Now, what we've found, now I'm sure he'd be okay with me saying this, a good client of ours is a guy called Mark Bull. And Mark Bull is performing exceptionally well at the moment. And one of the main reasons is we had a discussion at Deep and Meaningful about, I thought his need to go to the next level of trading was to prepare a business plan. And he said to me, Jay, I don't need a business plan, I've got a trading plan.
I remember that conversation because you saw him just after seeing us. And you said you kept bringing him back saying, look, that's the trading plan, what's your business plan? And he kept coming back to the trading plan. And it was difficult to get across, and we find this too, it's difficult to get across to people that a trading plan is not a business plan.
No, it's just the execution.
It's a bit like having a restaurant and saying, my business plan is my menu.
That's well said.
The menu is the thing that you actually give people.
That's correct.
The business plan is
everything else around it. And once Mark got his handle on that, then you know what happened? The next step is he got buy-in from his wife, Gail, and then what you find is that on a financial journey, particularly when you're in a relationship, husband and wife, de facto, significant other, whatever, you need both parties in it together. And once he got buy-in from Gail, she fully bought in. And, the guy has zeroed in on what he's doing. He's only trading one stock. He knows what he's doing. He's writing options on what he's spot on, and he's really kicking goals. And now he's putting more money towards his trading capital, and he's now becoming even more successful. So for mine, it really proves that if you're going to have a trading business, make sure you behave like a business.
But he's done that thing that most businesses, no, I won't say most, a lot of businesses fail to do. They fail to find their niche. They fail to find the game they can play.
That's right.
It's like we're here at Moonalinks at present. We're watching all these old blokes wander around the golf course. And I'm quite certain there's dozens of old blokes out there trying to play like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
But they're not Tiger Woods.
That's right. Yeah.
They haven't found their own game.
Yeah.
And Mark's fortunate in that he's found his own game.
Yeah.
He's found what he can do.
Yeah, and he's zeroed in on it. An old business coach of mine, very similar philosophy, said, play in your genius. And that's one of the things we try to do in our organisation is that, there's different people with different skill sets. Let them play in their genius. And as you say, don't try and be pleasing to all, but just operate and play in your genius. And that's the thing about trading. If you can make it a business, if you can remove the emotion from that. I mean, we spoke at length about some stuff that hopefully we're going to do together in the future, which really excites me, but we probably save that for another time. But, by removing the emotion, operating it like a business, sticking to the rules, away. It's like any business, Christopher. And, I quote you often when you say to me, Jay, I shouldn't really say this, but I'm going to.
Why not?
Give me a business that's got no staff and got no clients. That's the business that I want.
Yeah.
And that's the business.
And you've got trading.
And you've got trading, and that's the business that you've got.
It's the perfect business.
Well, for you.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. You know me, my attention span's about 3 minutes, Chris, so I get a bit lost.
Some people need people. They're strange people. Like.
Yeah, I know. I think, to go to the next level with the trading, I think as long as you put on that business hat, remove yourself from the business. And that's why things like having a structure in place, being accountable to somebody else. So, Mark Bull, for example, him and I meet quarterly.
But you've also got to have that, because your role not only is mentor, but unreasonable mentor.
Yeah.
You don't want someone who you go along to and they say, oh, mate, that's brilliant, that's the best thing I've ever seen, that's brilliant.
It's garbage.
You want someone who comes along and says, oh, not quite, maybe, that's pretty good actually, but these two are shit.
Yeah.
You need to fix those.
What I do with Mark is we prepared his business plan together, and I hold him to account to his business plan, not to mine. It's about his goals and objectives, him and Gail, and what they're trying to achieve for their family's future, and about fueling their family's future, and I hold him to account on that. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm unemotional to an extent.
But that's what, like you and I played a lot of sport.
Yeah.
And that's what a good coach does. A good coach tells you the things you don't really want to hear.
Yeah.
They don't tell you how good you were.
I know.
They tell you
it
how
hurts a bit,
rubbish
doesn't
you
it?
were, and you go,
It hurts a bit, but you're going to get the result, right?
Yeah. And that's the issue. And everybody needs that unreasonable mentor. Someone to give them a little bit of a nudge that says...
I don't mind that unreasonable mentor. I don't mind that phrase. Can I pinch that?
You can actually, if you want to trademark that. Just write my name at the bottom. All will be good. Mate, thanks as usual.
Thank you, Christopher. Lovely. Let's go. I think we're
We've
off
got
to...
a massage, haven't we?
Yeah, more Peninsula Hot
massage.
Springs. Separate rooms.
Separate rooms.